So this is a tool called a commission calculator, and this is going to help you determine how much you can actually pay your people in real time. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take the last 5 jobs and we'll get the average job size. So let's just say it's a $10,000 job here. After you've looked through your data, you realize, okay, $10,000. That's how much we're making on the average job. And let's just say that materials are in labor for $6,500. So that's going to bring us here to an average profit of 35%. And so from that, we can look down at how much we actually want to pay people. So with our junior sales rep, let's just say Luke Bryan is going to be making 7% of the gross as a junior sales rep. You can choose whether or not you want to have a self-gen bonus on there. A lot of times I don't start people out with a self-gen bonus. If we're just using this example and Luke Bryan is a junior sales rep at 7%, then his commission is going to be $700. The way we're figuring out the net profit for the company is we're going to take the gross revenue minus the material and labor, minus the commission, minus 15% office costs, and that's going to get our net profit at $1,300, which equals 13% profit margin. So that's pretty good. Now, when you start, it's really important that we don't want to start people too high on this commission structure if we're building in any type of override for a team lead. So let's just say Willie Nelson is the team lead, and we're going to give him a 1% override. Or we're going to be giving the sales manager a 1% override. Then that total commission is going to be coming to $900. So want to make sure that we have the net profit that we're looking for, and this is going to help you gauge how you're going to be successful. So one thing is, let's just say that it's below a 30% profit margin. Let's just say, oh man, this is like a 23% profit margin after material and labors. So obviously, like, if we're running just the gross, there's got to be built in checks and balances there. If the job is not profitable, they still don't get their full 7% commission on the $10,000. So we need to really be thoughtful and mindful on one, making sure that reps are selling out of a profitable range. And this is really comes down to management and training the sales team how to be great at sales, upsells, being able to do supplements, really making sure we have a profitable job. And then if it's not profitable, then, you know, doing some type of commission deduction, like -2 to even -4% if the job isn't profitable. Because what happens if you're selling, looking at this 23% profit margin, you're now over here at -1%. So you're losing money on that job. I do like running commission off the gross, but you have to have those checks and balances in place if the job isn't profitable. You can also do the same formula if you're paying off the profit. So let's just say we have a $10,000 job and 6,500 for materials and labor. Office costs are set at 15%. You can change that up here if you think it's only 10%, 12%. We'll be able to alter that as we go. And then we're going to run the commission the same way. So let's just say sales rep. Luke Bryan is starting out as a sales rep, which is going to be, in this case, what we're calling new people. So 35% profit margin, which is going to give you $700. Now, if you want to do some type of override for like Willie Nelson, who's going to be the team lead, and Johnny Cash, so having the 3% of Just like we'd be running these calculations off the gross, we can run the same thing off of the profit. So let's just say we have a $10,000 job. Our material and labor are $6,500. The office cost is $1,500 because we're going with 15% office cost, but you can easily change that up here in this formula. If it's 10%, you can change 15 to 10. But for now, in this example, we're going to charge or call it 15%. And that's going to bring our gross profit to $2,000. And so now let's calculate the commission. So Luke Bryan, let's just say that he's starting out as a sales rep, which in this case is your lowest rung. So, and he's making 35%. And that's going to equal $700. And some companies will do, if they meet their quota, like $100,000 a month, they're now going to be making extra on any roof they sell. So maybe that's going to be 2%. Self-gen, you can do 1%. So I gave these options to you if you have additional factors that go into your compensation, but they'll automatically set at 0. So we can see on this job, the net profit's $1,300, and that's going to equal 13%. If this is a senior sales rep, let's just say Maren Morris is your senior sales rep. She's selling at 40%, which is $800, and that brings you to the net profit of 12%. If you have an elite rep, and let's just say, Conway Twitty is an elite rep, and he is on the commission of 15, 50, 50, then he would be making $1,000 on that job at the 50-50 split. Your net profit would be 10%. So when we're thinking about doing any type of overrides, let's just say that Willie Nelson is a team lead and we're giving him a 5% override, and and Johnny Cash is also getting a 5% override based off the gross profit, then that's going to bring our total commission to $1,200. And that's going to give us a net profit of 8%. So I really encourage you guys to first take the first 5 jobs and figure out what your average revenue is per job, what your actual costs are, and use this to figure out, are we profitable? Can we afford to pay our sales guys the way we want to pay them?